Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Mayday Network. This is the Daily Dispatch. I am Michelle Kinney. I'm here with Julie Roginsky, and we decided to do a little AMA. If you're new to the internet, that means Ask Me Anything. So we are going to have a little chit chat. You guys can please put your questions in the chat on YouTube. We are here. We're watching. Hello, Julie. How you doing? It's 5:04 p.m. on the East Coast.
Yes, it is. The day is almost over, I think, although I might have to go out to NBC tonight, so maybe not.
Like real NBC or MS Now?
No, real NBC.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can tell, I am not even remotely prepared to do that because I'm wearing a baseball hat because my hair is so gross that I will have to take a shower and I don't feel like it. So there you go. That's how I'm doing.
I think you speak for many
yes,
people.
I have to do a podcast at 6 for somebody. The day will never end. It's been one of those days, but I'm so happy to be here because this is like the highlight of my day, honestly, to be with everybody here. And Michelle, two things I want to talk about, one political, one cultural. Let's start with the politics first. Did you see Kristi Noem's testimony today?
I wasn't watching live, but I was watching the clips, online, thanks to Aaron Rupar.
Well, let me just say this before you play this relevant clip. It is a felony. Well, it's not, I believe, to lie to Congress. I believe that even though you're not under oath, I believe you cannot lie to Congress. Maybe it's not a felony, but it's a no-no. Which is why if you're testifying, you got to testify truthfully or else you might get prosecuted. And to be clear, it is a 5-year statute of limitations for most federal crimes, which means that, lying to Congress today will survive the Trump administration and potentially, if there's a Democrat in charge, they might go after you for lying to Congress, perjuring yourself before Congress. I don't know if she was sworn in, but nevertheless, I think it's not good to lie to Congress.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be clear that's probably why Kristi Noem chose not to specifically answer this question in a yes or no way. But why don't you play the clip there, Michelle?
Which one? Because there's two.
Why don't you play the clip with the Congresswoman first?
Okay.
Tenure as Director of Department of Homeland Security. Have you had sexual relations with Corey Lewandowski?
Mr. Chairman, I am shocked that we're going down and peddling tabloid garbage in this committee today.
Reclaiming
and
my
ma'am,
time.
one thing that I would tell you is that he is a special government employee who works for the White House. There are thousands of them in the federal government.
So reclaiming
and
my
is an
time,
advisor,
Secretary, it is
has
okay for
no,
you to be
no
offended
authority
by
to
the
be
question.
making any
it is
decisions.
okay for you to
has
be
no
offended
authority
by the
to
question.
Be making
but it
decisions.
is also a real
Up
question.
So what I would say
and
to
you should be able to
is
answer
that
the question.
What we do at the Department of Homeland Security every single
and without
day,
any hesitation,
every single day is to protect
if
this
someone
country
is
and
asking
to make
if
decisions.
You or any federal official is sleeping with their subordinate, that should be the easiest. You should be wanting to answer that question.
Is garbage?
Because it is not about your
sex
sex life.
That you have brought
it is
that
about
up.
your
So
judgment.
that kind of garbage
It is about
has been
reclaiming
for
my
years,
time so
and
that
you
I
need
can
to
hear myself.
recognize
Time belongs to the gentlelady from California, but it'd be nice if you would let her respond.
I will. I want to let you know it is about your judgment and decision making. It is about the 260,000 employees that work under you that want to make sure that you are giving information and making decisions clearly. It is about conflict of interest. It is about a national security risk. Department of Homeland Security was created right after 9/11 to protect the homeland. And DHS has circulated an internal bulletin to law enforcement partners warning that the conflict of the war we're in could inspire lone actors or small-scale cyber activity inside the United States, according to a memo obtained by ABC News. So American lives are at risk. The people who work for you are at risk. And they want to know that the person at the top, you, are making decisions clearly, without any sort of cloudiness, and that they're your decisions because you're the secretary who was confirmed. That's what this is about. Saving the lives of Americans and not costing them millions of dollars and not having a secretary who's compromised in her decision making. And
okay, so she did not answer that question.
No.
And then there's the second question that Jared Moskowitz decided to ask. So why don't we play that?
And while you're watching this, I just want everyone to be aware of the button that he's wearing. It says "Justice for Cricket." Cricket was Kristi Noem's dog that she shot. It's not.
Poor Cricket. I told my family, by the way, that when we're in Japan in a couple of weeks, we have to go an hour outside of Tokyo to go see that little monkey. And they laughed. Well, I know. And they were like, you must be kidding me. And I was like, no, we're going to go have to see the monkey. So I feel very strongly about Cricket. If I feel strongly about the monkey, I feel very strongly about Cricket.
Well, listen, people who hurt animals, I just want to say, all like human beings.
They're psychopaths.
Psychopaths. And so while I don't mean to laugh, it's just Jared Moskowitz, like total straight face as he does things like this. It's just always, it's really funny.
Special government employee. I understand what government means. I understand what employee means. Okay. But I don't know what makes him special. Now, I want to give you an opportunity to answer on the record to Ms. Kamlager-Dove's question. I know you said it's garbage, and it may be, but I really think you need to say the word no into the record so that you can clear that up.
I think the ridiculousness of this and the tabloids that you are quoting and referencing are insane. And this has been something that I've refuted for years, and I continue to do that.
So it's a no.
What I would tell you is
we can move on. Hold on.
What you're doing,
we can move on. I'm not going to belabor it.
This is what you do.
Hold on. I'm not doing anything.
Liberal left is you go off and you attack conservative women and you say that we're either stupid
I haven't
or
said
we're
anything.
sluts.
All right. So listen.
And that's what you do.
Yesterday, Richard. We're claiming my time, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we're claiming my time. You were asked by Richard Blumenthal yesterday. You were asked by Richard Blumenthal yesterday if Corey was involved in approving contracts. You said no. Do you want to correct that?
What I would say is that he has an advisor to the Department of Homeland Security, has no decision-making authority. Madam Secretary, do you want to correct it? Yes or no? You don't want to correct it? Fine. Hold on. Not a problem. According to one of the FEMA administrators that you fired, there is nothing, including contracts, that is brought to you that he hasn't reviewed. In fact, a significant amount of DHS internal routing documents has his signature on it above deputy secretaries. Okay, that former FEMA administrator wasn't fired by you, the secretary. He was fired by Corey. It was Corey that called him into your office. It was Corey that made him to submit to a polygraph test. The $100,000 spending rule that you created that comes to your desk, you're not even sitting at your desk. It's Corey who's sitting there. ISIS said the Republicans should be happy at the job that you're doing. Really? You're looking at the person who single-handedly took the president's signature core issue, immigration, the issue that got him elected from 59% to 39%. 200 miles of border walls being held up by you. They had to bring in Tom Homan, pull out of Minnesota. I think the country needs a national divorce from you on biblical grounds. I mean, if Donald Trump was still apprentice Trump, he would look at you and he would realize you're the weakest cabinet member and he would fire you. And if the president said to you that only way DHS could reopen is if you resigned, I hope you would take him up on it. Now, I want to end on a happy note, Mr. Chairman, real quickly. The president gave all sorts of stuff out during the State of the Union. I don't want you to leave. I got you a new Coast Guard blankie, the one you lost. Okay, so this is for you. You don't leave empty-handed when you come to judiciary. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman has expired. The gentleman from Missouri is recognized.
So, Michelle, I'm going to ask, I'm not going to ask you. Why don't you ask me if I've ever slept with one of my subordinates? I've had many over the course of my career. I'm just going to say explicitly, the answer is no.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The answer is no. No, I just haven't.
Right.
And if somebody were to ask me that question under oath or on this podcast or walking down the street, I might ask why they're being sexist, because that's a weird question to ask a woman. But if there were multiple reports about it over and over, if I had an office with a bed in it or a flying office with a bed in it that I and my subordinate would go into in front of people over and over, you might, I think the question would be fairly asked. And I am somebody who is very sensitive to the fact that women are placed under tremendous double standards in the workplace.
Yes.
And that nobody's ever asked Donald Trump whether he slept with one of his subordinates ever, although he's never been under oath in front of Congress. But, that is a question that is not typically asked of men. So I am actually sensitive and sympathetic to Kristi Noem that she was asked that question. However, it's been out there a lot. And I would think that because it was out there a lot in the press, and I mean, legitimately, and like ProPublica, I mean, we're not talking about the National Enquirer here.
Right.
If that question, I would be the first to not just deny it under oath, but to explicitly say how awful and sexist and unfair it is that I'm being asked this question. I would never do that. I have never done that. I would never even consider doing that. And anybody who would do that is reprehensible and should be fired on the spot. That would be my answer.
Yeah.
I had nothing to hide.
Right.
And then I go off about how sexist everybody is for asking me that question.
Right.
But that's not
I mean, I remember when the story first broke. It was the summer of 2023. Or I remember just being nice out because I remember exactly where I was. I was walking down Central Park South, and I saw it, and I got on a call immediately to Matt and Ryan, who were working with us at the time at LP, and I was like, oh my God, we got to do a video for this. And we just made like a 2.5-minute video of just the Corey Lewandowski and Kristi Noem talking about family values. Like, that's, you know what I mean? It was very easy to do. And that was like a while ago. That was almost 3 years ago so like now, he's her subordinate. They're flying all over the place on like private chartered planes and like whatever. So can we play this other video from Jamie Raskin? Because have you seen this?
I don't know. Why don't we play it?
All right, yeah.
Funds to lease a third jet, a $70 million luxury 737 MAX with a queen-size bedroom in the back, a deluxe serving bar, and 4 flat-screen TVs. A big, beautiful jet paid for by the big, beautiful bill. Yesterday, under questioning the Senate, you said you plan to refurbish this jet to make it into this kind of airplane, which is what's actually being used for deportations in order to save the taxpayers' money. In other words, you're saying that's actually a deportation plane, but wouldn't it have been cheaper just to buy a deportation plane in the first place? It's like buying a Rolls Royce to...
Just really quick, the guy to her left, our right, with the blue tie.
That's Mr. Noem.
That is her husband.
Turn into a Metro bus. I was almost prepared to buy that story of how the jet was both for executive travel and mass deportation. And then I heard about an airborne episode of entitlement, arrogance, and contempt that I could hardly believe. Apparently, when your special blanket, your blankie, was left on one of the government jets and not transported over the new one, your special government employee, Corey Lewandowski, chivalrously stepped forward to fire the pilot midair. A 2003 Coast Guard Academy graduate and distinguished U.S. Coast Guard commander in Air Station, Washington, D.C. But then he had to be rehired immediately because there was no one else who could fly the two of you on the rest of the journey back home. Secretary Noem, you're flying high now, maybe even a little bit too close to the sun. But with all these free planes and houses and pilots, you've traveled a long distance from your actual job and the things you should be doing as head of Homeland Security. Your agency is charged with protecting the homeland. It includes FEMA, TSA, the Secret Service, the Coast Guard, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, as well as ICE and CBP. Yet you've hollowed out the national security mission. You redeployed thousands of people responsible for tracking terror financing and fighting cyber threats to go work on your mass immigration roundup. You reassigned to the roundup agents working a key national security probe into Iran's terror financing, paralyzing that investigation. And to run what's left of Homeland Security's ruined terrorism prevention office, you actually installed a 22-year-old intern whose chief listed qualification for the job was that he had participated in a model UN club his junior year of college. Through FEMA, you're supposed to provide disaster relief to our communities. Yet last summer, as floods devastated central Texas and killed 135 people, including 25 girls and 2 counselors at a Christian summer camp, you withheld crucial support.
Mm, mm, mm.
So, look, it's all fun and games until a terrorist event happens.
Oh, 100. Yeah.
And
100.
the reality is that while she is cosplaying at sheriff, which is basically what she's doing with her cowboy boots and her cowboy hat, goes up and all this nonsense, like we're in danger, friends. Like we just attacked the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world.
Oh yeah, they're coming for us.
And it's a problem. It is a problem. And those of us who live in New York and those of us who lived through 9/11 here and in Washington understand what the cost of all this is. And yet we have to have Congress perform its oversight function by literally asking her if she slept with a member of staff. I have to tell you, that is really problematic. I mean, it's like, haha, funny, except it's not, because what they should be asking her about is what she's doing to keep us safe. But unfortunately, we can't get around to that stuff because we have to deal with this nonsense, because that's what Congress is.
She's doing photo shoots and making little like music videos of herself and, you know, again, employing her friends in order to produce them and film them at taxpayer expense. Like, here's the thing. We can't have NPR. We can't have PBS. We can't have nice things. We can't have healthcare. We can't have
American Farsi, by the way. By the way, these people, just so you know, because I don't think it's been talked about much, Carrie Lake got rid of the Voice of America Farsi radio. So that if you want to pipe in whatever message you want to pipe into Iran right now, you can't. They got rid of all those people.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Well, this isn't Ask Me Anything.
Anybody got any questions?
I starred some here. First question, who are you and what are you doing?
Okay. Admiral Stockdale, who are you? Who am I? Why am I here? Hello.
Hi. Hello. You don't like my music? Jake, hello, lady.
Tell us what your music is. We don't know.
Yeah. Did y'all see this? A U.S. senator just
broke I did. Same senator we showed yesterday, Michelle, or whenever we went live. Was it yesterday, today?
It wasn't yesterday. We didn't go live yesterday.
It was today. The senator from Montana, who's a former Navy SEAL. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You and I didn't go live yesterday or today. My husband and I were watching him on CNN yesterday, and we're like, who the hell is this guy? We've never heard of him. His name is Tim Shee. And we're like, where's he from? This is a new guy. And then he's from Montana.
Okay.
And he's a former Navy SEAL. And yes, there was somebody protesting, a war veteran protesting this war. The Capitol Police jumped him and attacked him, whereupon she jumped in to help them. And they broke his arm, apparently compound fracture. This is what's happening now. We are protesting. We are physically harming veterans.
Well, I mean, we're physically harming them in more ways than one. And listen, when you've got a veteran who's actually been to war, protesting a war, like, this ought to tell you something. It makes me think of the really famous photographs of soldiers in Vietnam that have like the things they wrote on their helmets saying like, this is bullshit, essentially. It's really easy for people like Donald Trump to be throwing things around like, oh, war, and some of you are going to die, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Who are the worst at CNN, Julie? Be honest. Really? Are you new to this show? Scott Jennings. I mean, the worst. The absolute worst. Everybody else is actually very nice.
Yeah. Michelle, who did you sing backup with? You mean backup for? I can tell you the person I sing the backup for the most for the longest period of time, her name is Lala Brooks. She used to be the lead singer of the Crystals, which is like she sang to Do Run Run, and then He Kissed Me and stuff. So I sang backup for her for a couple years.
Wow.
The couple other people that Darlene Love, I sang backup for a couple times. You might know her from, I think it's like 5 Feet from Stardom. They did a documentary about her because she was a very famous backup singer herself. She sang a bunch of stuff. She's part of that whole that crew with the Crystals and everybody else. Who else? Debbie Gibson.
Did?
Yeah, like once. Mickey Dolenz. Let's see, I sang with Paul Schaefer once, or I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of people, like one-offs, you know what I mean, like gigs and stuff. But yeah, for the most part, like those are the most memorable people. Yeah. So
I'm trying to think what else. What other questions? People want to ask. People are asking about your butter, Michelle.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
you post it?
I did. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. My little butter video, because like I like to cook. During COVID, on my I have a personal account that I just have with my friends and my family and stuff. And I used to make these like Instagram stories of like me making weird food. And so I decided, the blue cheese martini, we did that. And then I was like, I'm going to make butter. We'll do that. And so we might just make this a kitchen therapy thing. I think, I'll make one once in a while, whenever I have time. Okay. Not in my name. Did you have fun filming your Americans pod? Yes,
we did. It was a big cast of characters.
Yeah. We have a lot of people, but that won't always be all that.
Yeah. We just had a lot of people join for the first one, but like not every time.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Yes. It was very thorough. We spent most of it talking about the political situation that was happening back then, to set the template for, the cultural stuff that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be focusing almost exclusively on the show going forward, but we just wanted people to understand.
For sure. We got to this one already.
Corey, oh no, I wasn't there. What do you think? She didn't say no.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Let's see. Can Bondi ignore being called before Congress to testify? And Kristi Noem is
sure she can. Who's going to indict her? The Justice Department?
I know. Her Justice Department. Correct.
Yeah.
She did not say, well, yeah, she keeps saying garbage, but no, yeah, hilarious. Let me see. I'm going back here because I'm a little behind here on these questions. Let me see. It's a social influencer cabinet. Exactly. Let's see. Question. Oh, wait, we already said that. So Michelle, how is your homemade butter? Very good.
I'm going to put myself on mute.
I made 4 sticks of butter. I made 2 regular sticks of butter and then 2 cultured sticks of butter. And then I used the buttermilk to make popovers, and then used the butter with cherry preserves to make cherry butter and put it on it. So like many uses.
Ooh.
From these.
Over?
Yeah.
That's my question. How come I don't have any access to this butter?
Well, you're allergic to my cats. Otherwise, I'd say come on over for brunch. But
with your cats.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, my son thinks that the butter we have here is disgusting. It is like Land O'Lakes butter, and yet he's like,
well, Land O'Lakes is like one of the brands that's not bueno.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are they not bueno?
I mean, just I've like read a bunch. It's like, what are the worst butters? And like that's
not politically. Like they're just not good for you.
Yeah, they're just like don't taste as good. I think rabbit butter's pretty good.
That's funny that you say that, because I would get the Kerrygold butter, that good Irish butter.
It's not good anymore.
And my husband hates it. He likes the Land O'Lakes.
Yeah. The butter used to be better. I don't think it's as good anymore. And I feel like we also, like as Americans, we got on this kick of like, I'm not going to eat real butter and like whatever. And I just like think that it's actually been long-term more detrimental to us. Like that we don't know, like we eat more of the fake stuff.
Yeah.
It has chemicals and fake sugar and stuff in it. It's no bueno.
What's really good is the Norman butter from Normandy. It's expensive here, but
I've heard it's
a normal butter, but it's got a lot more fat content, but you don't need as much of it. So it's actually
right. Really exactly. And it has a different taste. It has those salt crystals in it. It's like so good.
So Michelle, you have been obsessed. I have not watched it, but you have been obsessed with the Kennedy movie.
Well, it's the show, the
show.
Yeah.
Have people been watching that in the chat? Have you guys been watching the Kennedy love story, the JFK?
Yeah, it's the Ryan Murphy American Love Story. show. And for anybody who's seen, let's see, they did American Crime Story with OJ, the American whatever the other one was with
The Gianni Versace one.
Yeah, and then there was the impeachment story about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
It wasn't that good, I didn't think.
Yeah, the casting was. I was like, I don't understand.
And I couldn't get through the Gianni Versace one. I didn't think that was good. The OJ one was really good.
OJ one was excellent.
Yeah.
But yes, I am watching.
And it's funny because you were not in New York in the 90s, right? Were you in high school in the 90s?
I was in.
Yeah. So I was here in the 90s.
In 2004. Yeah.
Okay. So I was here in the 90s, or here adjacent. I was between here and New Jersey in the 90s. Yeah. And, I lived, it's very like, I think Sex in the City probably is a much more kind of real, I wouldn't say realistic. Sex in the City isn't realistic either, but like that vibe, I think was in the early seasons of Sex in the City was kind of more of what I remember people dressing like she had this whole look and aesthetic, Caroline Bessette, that was a very like model kind of little minimal makeup.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. As a teenager, I mean, obviously I shopped at like the Gap and Old Navy and stuff, but like her aesthetic actually makes way more sense to me. Like as I was like a young person during that time, I wore like the straight legged khakis. I would wear like a black shell tank top with like little loafers, and like that's how I dressed.
Yeah.
So whenever I see her, I mean, obviously it's like she's carrying a Birkin bag, so like, oh my God, but the simplicity of it, it's very timeless. I think you could wear that now and it would still.
But it's interesting because, and here comes the Temu gum story. Because I saw a clip where people said this is what it was like working at Calvin Klein back in the 90s when she worked for Calvin Klein.
Right.
And you couldn't look at Calvin. You couldn't look Calvin in the eye. You couldn't speak to Calvin. Like if Calvin walked by you, like you couldn't.
Really? But he loved her.
I don't know if he did love her or whether he just loved her after she became, she started dating JFK Jr. I have no idea.
I mean, at least according to the show, he introduced them.
No, the way I think she met was he walked in to get a fitting and she was the person, she was in charge of celebrities.
Okay. Yeah.
And they put in charge of, I don't know what happened in the show, but I think this.
Yeah, in the show, he introduces them at a party.
Oh, no. The way I think the real thing goes is he walked in for a fitting. Anyway, so I have a funny Calvin Klein story.
Please.
So back, I want to say 1988.
Okay.
87, probably 87. It was my freshman year in high school. And let me just set the scene. I had a very bad perm because it was the 80s. And I was super.
Like a wave or like a curly Q?
Oh, no. It was a legit.
Okay. It was like curly Q.
Put my finger in the socket.
Got it. Yeah.
Nothing good comes of this. I wish it were like a what they called a wave back then or whatever.
Yeah.
Not a body wave. It was a full on.
Okay.
Awful. I got to find a picture of me somewhere. I think hopefully there was one picture exists of me, head to toe, jeans, jean jacket, jeans, and a perm. I'll try to find that for you guys. But it was very bad. Anyway, and I used to shop at the Limited, as we all did. And I had this, I don't know, what were they called? They're like these, I don't know, it's a pinafore. I don't know what they're called. But they're basically these sundresses, but you didn't wear them as a sundress. You wore them over a t-shirt.
Oh.
So you'd wear like a t-shirt with a sundress over it.
Yeah.
Limited. And I think it probably cost the equivalent of, I think it was probably.
You mean like with the spaghetti straps?
No. I mean, full on, thick.
Interesting. Okay.
Thick. Yeah. It was
that trend.
By the way, this was not a trend. This was not a trend. This was me. This was not, I'm not pretending this was like the trend. Anyway, it was a disaster, head to toe. Really not good. And I think like I probably weighed an extra like 10 pounds. Like nothing good was coming of me freshman year in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I've said this before. Obviously, my parents did not have a lot of money at all, but I was a scholarship kid. But I was a scholarship kid at a very fancy private school.
Right.
And one of my very good friends there, who was very, 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 very affluent, had a mother who was a socialite. And they had an apartment down in Palm Beach. and they invited me to Palm Beach with them.
Okay.
To go for, a few days. I had never been to Florida. I had never, I didn't know, we had no money. So I begged my parents, begged and begged and begged and begged. And they finally scraped the money together to let me fly down by myself to Palm Beach. And so we get to Palm Beach. I get to Palm Beach and they come pick me up and they're only driving around in what was an 80s stretch limo.
Oh, I mean,
and here's the part. She goes, and so Mrs. Phil, who's the mom, my friend Jennifer's mom, says, my friend Andre is going to come stay with us. And I'm like, okay. Well, her friend Andre was Andre Leontali.
Oh my gosh.
And he was lovely. So he was staying with us in this house in Palm Beach.
What a delight.
It wasn't a house. It was a condo. It was not a condo. It was an apartment. It wasn't a mansion.
Oh, what a legend.
He was, I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know who he was. Even then, I didn't know. There's no internet. There's not any Vogue. This was so not in my thing. But anyway, I later was like, oh my God, that guy. But anyway, so Andre Leontali, who was lovely. He was so nice. And he gets there and they go, okay, we're going to have dinner at Calvin's. And I'm like, okay.
Calvin. All right, cool.
And I was like, who's Calvin? My friend Jenny's like, oh, it's Calvin Klein. And I was like, okay. And of course, Calvin Klein was such nothing comes between me and my Calvins. It was such a deal. But I was like, okay, so I'm wearing, let me stress again. I remember exactly what I was wearing. I was wearing my thick strap. My boobs were way too big for the rest of my body at the time. So I'm wearing this. I'm trying to make my son not hear this, but my too tight. It's way too tight. Because between when I bought it and when I wore it, I probably gained 10 pounds.
Oh gosh.
My bad perm. My white t-shirt underneath. And I show up in the house that Calvin Klein had. He was married to his wife, Kelly, at the time. This is back when he was, married to a woman.
Right.
Was right next door to Mar-a-Lago. And Trump had just bought Mar-a-Lago. So we get there and it's me, my friend Jenny, her little brother Jason, who was very cute because he was 8 or 9. So Kelly Klein's falling all over him. She's like, oh, you're so cute. And Jen and I are just standing there two dopes. Right, we were 13. This is the height of shitty people. This, it could not have been worse.
The most awkward year of my life is the
most awkward year of my life.
People, right?
And this guy comes out to greet us, and we're like, "Is that Calvin?" Whoever. I had no idea what this guy looked like. And it turned out it wasn't Calvin. It was the president of Bloomingdale's, who was the other person there with his wife. And there's a guy standing behind the bar mixing drinks, and I was like, "Is that the bartender?" That turned out to be Calvin Klein.
Okay.
So we're having dinner. I did not know which fork to use. They were serving octopus. I had never seen octopus in my life. I did not know what to do with said octopus. I was like, I said, what is this? They're like, duh, it's octopus. And I was like, so it was a scene out of Pretty Woman again. And
slippery suckers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And all they did was make fun of Donald Trump for buying Mar-a-Lago next door. They were like, this idiot bought this house. There goes the neighborhood and blah, blah, blah.
Just wait.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And I knew who Trump was because obviously everybody.
Yeah. Everybody did. He made sure everybody knew who he was.
That guy was an STD. But you couldn't get rid of him if you wanted to. But he was but anyway, so Calvin Klein was very nice, very soft-spoken, barely spoke. My friend Jen and I, who were not the brightest tools in the shed and had never, as far as we knew, ever interacted with a gay person, but we were like, something here is not right about this guy being married to this woman. We're like, this is not right.
Which we would find out later was.
Even in our clueless 1986, 13-year-old Jersey girl way. Yeah. We're like, here's that. Yeah. But I have never forgotten that I showed up to Calvin Klein's house where I don't know where I could picture that stupid limited pinafore is the only way I could describe it. Like,
Yeah.
it was like kind of purple, kind of white. It had like stripes on it. It was
And you
just,
were wearing it over a t-shirt.
I was wearing it over a white t-shirt. The white t-shirt was too big, so it was bunched up over my, like, the up here under the straps. Like, you guys, this was a disaster.
And this is 8th grade?
This is 9th.
9th grade. Okay.
Ninth.
So a little bit better. Not much, but a little bit better.
Not so sure. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think it was 9th. Maybe it was 8th.
7, 8, 9.
Nothing good was happening, Julie.
Yeah, I don't really look back at those pictures and I'm like, ooh, those were good times.
Not good. Maybe it was 8th because I had a perm. So maybe it was 8th. Nothing good was happening, friends. Like, nothing good was happening. And yes, for people who said, oh, limited of Wexler.
Yeah, isn't that fun? As soon as you said the limited, I was like, Les Wexner.
I showed up on my Lex Wexner finest. Ladies.
Yeah, next to Mar-a-Lago. I mean, my God, it's just.
Yeah. I mean, next to Mar-a-Lago, Calvin Klein's house, which had like a jungle backyard motif. It was a total disaster, you guys. It was a total disaster.
Cool. They must have probably looked at you guys though, and they were like, "Aw," you know what I mean?
I don't think they thought, "Aw," because don't forget, Calvin Klein is working with 13-year-old, 14-year-old models all the time. So I don't think anybody there thought, "Aw." I think everybody there was like, "Oh."
Oh, Julie.
Yeah, it was not good. All 5'3" of me, extra 10 pounds. And I don't mean a model extra 10 pounds. I mean an extra 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a good scene. It was a disaster. And yeah, let's just say Jeffrey Epstein would not have been coming for me back then.
That's dark. That's really dark.
Disaster. It was not good.
That is dark. That is dark. Well, that is a good story, especially given that this show is so popular right now. And I mean, have you watched any of it?
No.
I was going to ask if you thought that he was accurately portrayed based on like your experience.
Calvin Klein?
Yeah.
Oh, I
remember.
I had a 2-hour interaction with a guy where the entire time I was looking at the octopus being like,
am I supposed to eat these legs?
By the way, gross. I love octopus now as an adult. I love octopus. I think when the perm went away, my love for octopus might have come back.
I can't do it. I can't do
really?
it.
Oh, I love octopus.
Well, they're just very, well, I don't want to get into it, but they're very beautiful animals and they're very smart and they are very.
No, that's the problem.
They have a lot of feelings and like they're very aware. And
my husband will not eat them for that reason. My husband,
like, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
My husband, same thing. My husband's off the pig. He will not eat.
Oh, I haven't eaten pork.
Really?
Yeah,
I love bacon so much, but yeah,
no way. Won't do it.
He won't do it because the pigs are so smart.
Yeah, they're like dogs. They know their name. They're like smart. They have the intelligence of like a human, like 3-year-old. So
what about calamari? Not squid. Squid's not good either. Also smart.
I won't do it.
Squid are also smart, not just octopus.
I don't know about squid, but I just put them all in the same category, and I go,
Really? Because I like squid a lot.
I'm like, I think if it was easier, I would be a vegetarian probably.
I would too. I think I would too, but I can't.
Or like more. I try to be as plant-based as possible. I don't really eat beef very much.
Really?
With things with 4 legs. I usually just eat fish and poultry.
I don't like tofu. If I like tofu, I think I'd be
bad. Yeah, if it's prepared the right way, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's all about preparation. That's why I always like what there's some chef, was it Jose Andres said, he's like, I hear people don't like a certain food item, and it's like, well, no, you just haven't had it prepared right. You know what I mean? Like it hasn't been prepared for you properly.
Yeah.
So I always try to think of things that way.
You could play 6 Degrees of Julie and it would be because it's not like I know any of these people. It's just that I have been. I'm telling you, as far as like Timu Gump, like I just popped into these weird situations.
Yeah, I was thinking today about just celebrity encounters, like having lived in New York and lived so many lives, and I'm like, I mean, I think probably one of the weirdest ones that I had when I was working the coat check at Fresco by Scotto. I think in like 2006. Do you know Fresco by Scotto, the Italian restaurant? Yeah.
You worked at Fresco by Scotto?
For a few weeks. My friend was in Paris, and I worked her job for her for a few weeks. And so I was like, yeah, and I go work the coat check, and I did the hosting.
That's Rosanna Scotto's restaurant.
Yeah, and I did the hosting with Grandma Scotto. So she would come in for lunch, and I would go help, and I would see people, whatever. And I was there for dinner one night, and in comes Regis Philbin and his wife, and Don Rickles and his wife. And when I tell you, so when at that coat check, what we would do is hold on to people's to-go food and their coats, right? So they would like, with like a little ticket, whatever. So he comes over, both of them come over, where's my food? It was like exactly how you.
That's a great Regis impression.
Yeah. And Rickles comes over. I mean, I was just like, I can't even believe that I'm here right now. Like it was wild. I'm like, I'm giving.
Oh my God. Wait a second. Wow. Wow.
By Otis was Reggie Jackson pinning me against a wall.
Mr. October
at the Kansas City Crown Plaza Hotel. Dang. Okay.
I'm so sorry. You just ruined. It's not your fault, but one of my favorite movies of all time just got ruined.
Wow.
Must kill the queen.
Yeah.
Sorry. When I was chefing, Portia de Rossi was the most famous I cooked for. Was she nice? I heard she's not very nice. Actually, I heard Ellen DeGeneres is not very nice.
Well, yeah, Ellen's. I've heard is
not nice.
Not a nice person. She's nice if you're famous, and she's very nice to famous people. But if you are a plebe, she does not. She's not terribly nice. Hold on. What are your favorite dishes?
Things to eat. Sushi. I cannot wait to go to Japan and eat sushi. I'm so excited.
Well, I guess I'll put it with this. Michelle, what is your favorite main dish to cook? I have a few. Beef Wellington being one.
I make a good beef Wellington. I make little mini Wellingtons.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You got to do the end of it. Yeah. I've done the logs. It's
the logs. Hard. It's too hard. It's too wasteful.
To get everything together, and then you cut it, and like the juice goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And I really make I'm pretty good at Italian food, probably better than my Italian husband. So actually I know because he doesn't really go do that. So I would say like Sunday sauce, pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, my bolognese is really good.
Yeah, we should have a dinner party, you and me, Julie. We should do that.
Know. We're gonna do that when we go to Pennsylvania together.
If I
ever have time.
Let's see. How many episodes of The American should I watch? Does it cover just about? So we filmed the pilot. We recorded the pilot episode. We're going to do episode 2 next so that we have a couple, in the bank.
Yeah.
So we have, ample time to promote it and whatever else. So we're going to release the first episode, the pilot, next week. So if you want to do a couple ahead of time, it's totally up to you. Let's see. Is that the one that Jack is really upset about, the show, the love story? Yes.
Jack Schlossberg. Yeah, I don't blame them. I mean,
yeah, and he's actually, he was on CBS Sunday Mornings this past weekend. Actually, I thought it was a lovely interview they did with him, and he was saying that all these people think they know my family and they don't. And then the interviewer pointed out, he said, "Listen, we see all these Kennedy family reunion photos and we don't really see you in them." And he said, yeah, he goes, when I think of my Kennedy family, I think of my mom, my dad, my sisters, and me. And, my uncle when he was around, obviously. But it was like, we don't really go to that stuff. And he was like, not to denigrate my cousins or anything like that, but that's just not what we do. And that's not what I think about when I think about my family. I was like, yeah. And Ryan Murphy said something really shitty to him. He was like, you didn't even know your uncle. Like, why are you so mad? And he was like, are you serious? He's like, and he listed all the memories that he had as a little kid with his uncle and his grandmother. And he was in his uncle's wedding. He was like the ring bearer or something. So, he was little, but also screw you. What a horrible thing to say to somebody.
Yeah.
I think that's annoying. Let's see. Would you ever consider doing a podcast or even a video on the newsroom, comparing it to a real newsroom?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, it has nothing to do with a real newsroom because nobody's that sanctimonious in a real newsroom. So,
I mean, it would be like comparing the West Wing to working
yeah.
in the West Wing. I think morning show is probably closer.
I've only seen a few episodes of the morning show.
Oh, I've heard it's very accurate.
It hit a little close to home, so I did not watch morning show. But maybe it's very accurate. I don't know.
Well, Brian Stelter. I never say.
Yeah, but Brian Stelter never actually worked for a morning show. He just
but he's one of the consultants on that, I think. And from what I've heard, it's very accurate. And but Newsroom, I mean, I know that Aaron Sorkin based the character of Will McAvoy loosely on I believe Keith Olbermann and Joe Scarborough, like a combination of like a few people. And I mean, I loved the show. Despite how he portrays women, which are always like bumbling idiots who are tripping over their own feet. But I did really like the show. Let's see.
First political job you ever had, Jill?
Yeah.
At the Labour Party in London, actually. Very, very first job in 1993.
Did I tell you there's a guy that works for the Labour Party? He's like a comms guy. He's like reached out to me on Instagram a few times and has asked if he could come on and talk to us. I'm wondering we should have him on.
Sure.
Happy to. He seems like an interesting guy. He's always on like Sky News and he's like doing
happy to.
Let's see. I wish I remembered his name off the top of my head, but let's see. Somebody had a question about Macron here. Here we go. What do you think about Macron calling the Iran bombings illegal? Will the rest of Europe follow? I mean, Spain. Trump came out and said Spain's going to help us, and then Spain was like, "We never said that."
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't really know who to believe here, but I'm going to go with Spain, just based on,
Listen. Yeah. This whole thing's a disaster, and they are illegal. And you don't just go and first of all, it is against the policy of this government to take out the leaders of countries, no matter how much we hate them. We don't assassinate in the wake of Watergate. We don't assassinate, especially since Jimmy Carter. We do not assassinate the leaders of foreign nations. Why? Because we don't want them assassinating our leaders.
Well, I mean, and here's the other thing. I mean, just to remind people and remind myself here. Do you remember at the beginning of his second term, he signed an executive order saying that if Iran were to assassinate him, we are to obliterate the country, because Iran did have plans that were uncovered that they were going to try and assassinate Donald Trump. They were also going after John Bolton, which is why Joe Biden gave him a security detail. And so Donald Trump's got his bee in his bonnet about Iran for all kinds of reasons, but that's one of them. So one has to wonder here. I mean,
by the way, if Iran assassinated Donald Trump and he gave orders to retaliate, those orders would be null and void because he would not be president anymore.
Correct. So who's going to be attacked next? Well, Ecuador. We carried out strikes against Ecuador last night. And then we're also talking about taking over Cuba. So, it's like, Ecuador, come on down. Let's see. Can we have our regime removed? Wouldn't that be something? Let's see. I just put one over here. Are you going to do a sports section for Mayday? I would love to once we have some more resources. Like right now, it's just I am maxed out in terms of just like my bandwidth. So if we get, we don't really have like money to pay people right now. So if we get some resources here, we'd love to. I would love to, even just to do something for March Madness. I asked my husband maybe if he'd want to come chit chat March Madness, at least after the selection Sunday. I thought that would be good. Let's see. What else here, guys? What else? Let's see. Community. Oh yeah. People keep saying community page. What are you talking about? Are you talking about like on YouTube, like the post thing? because that's something I'm learning about and I'm trying to post on there. But again, I'm one person.
Is it that you guys want a page where you could all talk to each other when we're not around? Like you have the chat on Substack? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Is that what you mean? Like, I don't understand. LOL, your community page. Explain it to me like I'm 5. I don't know. I don't know. I'm savvy to a point.
It's your community page. Yeah, I think it's basically like what you have on Substack, right? Like a chat feature where all of you can go.
Because I have on YouTube, there's like the thing that's like posts where you can post stuff like a Facebook page or whatever. But I don't know if there's like something else in addition to that. I will look into this. I will do my best. What are some of your favorite NYC restaurants, Julie?
You guys, I'm so out of it because I like when you're a mom, like you don't go anywhere. You just, especially when you are married to somebody who's got zero palate and the mother of somebody who's got zero palate. Like I live with people who literally, like, if they could have spaghetti with like red sauce every day, well, not my son. If he had plain spaghetti every day with nothing on it, he'd be happy. So it's wasted on them. So unfortunately, I don't even know what the good restaurants are anymore. I love Celeste, which I think is the best restaurant Italian in the entire city, and that is actually strangely on 84th in Amsterdam, and nowhere near any kind of Italian neighborhood. But it's really, really, really good.
I mean, I love Pete's Tavern is one of my favorites. I have a picture of Pete's Tavern framed and sitting it hangs on my kitchen wall. I also have a photograph of Barney Greengrass. The outside of Barney Greengrass. And I also have a photograph of the old McHale's, which was on 46 and 8th. I don't know if you ever were over there. It was like,
yeah.
Do you remember the old McHale's? They tore the building down, and there's like another McHale's now, which is not the same. This had like bars on the windows. It was like looked dirty on the outside, but if you went in, you'd see like Liza Minnelli or somebody like eating a $5 burger. I mean, it was like they had these amazing burgers. I
think the best burger in the city is Minetta Tavern. So if you're down on if you're down in Greenwich Village, right by Washington Square Park, it's hard to get into. So either make a reservation in advance or just walk in and get a seat at the bar if you can. It's called Minetta Tavern. It is at the corner of Minetta Lane and McDougal Street. So
I don't think I've actually been there.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
It's how's your mom, Michelle? People are asking.
Oh, they are? That's so nice. My mom's okay. She's home. She's probably watching this right now. She's home. Mom, if you don't mind, I told people you were in the medical times today, but you are home and you're doing well and seems to be in good spirits. So all that is very good. Thank you everyone for asking. I do want to just plug one other restaurant. It's called John's of 12th Street. It's over 100 years old. I think it's on, God, what street is it? 11th, 12th? Down on the Lower East Side or East Village. And it's like cash only, but man, oh, it's so good. Let's see. See, community page. Even I found it. Okay. All these people saying you would contribute to any sports section. Okay. I listen.
We will set it up, you guys. We will.
Yeah. Let's see. I haven't. Let me get down here. You know what? I saw somebody ask. Hold on.
Cash money is for drugs.
Michelle and Julie, when guys hit on you, do you tell your husbands? Well, I can't. It doesn't really happen in the last couple of years.
We've kind of aged out, my friends.
I've kind of aged out of the getting hit on thing. You know, he's been with me when I get catcalled, which happens every now and then. But you know, it's just kind of gross, and you know.
Do I tell? Yeah, I tell my husband. He actually likes it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, my wife hot.
Yeah, he makes him feel like, you know, he's got a little.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll tell him.
Yeah,
makes him happy.
Let's see. Discord has a server for each group. Oh, I don't know what that is. Okay. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you. I love the show. Me too. Hi, Jay. Instead of sorry, Julie's dad. Hello, Michelle's mom.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Hi, Mrs. Kinney. I'm just putting these up there for her. She sees these. Yeah. It's a good update on your mom.
Not on my name. I am so sorry about the Reggie Jackson story. That's a crazy story.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awful.
That's not good.
Awful. Let's see. Does Liza Minnelli eat like she's on a talk show? I don't know. I wasn't there when Liza was there, but I've just heard that she was there. Oh, you know, and speaking of another play, I love the original PJ Clark's on the East Side on 55th.
Yes, very good.
So good.
Very
Martini, side of fries, okay, shrimp cocktail, burger. The burger there is outstanding.
Yep.
Outstanding.
Agreed.
Because I also know that Liza used to go there all the time. That's what made me think of that. Let's see. It was crazy. Thanks. Not in my name said. I'm so happy that your mom is doing well. One of my brothers is going through a bout of cancer. Yes. At his appointment, they informed him that the cancer is now half the size. Oh, that's good.
That's
I mean,
good.
I think, right? Yes. Smaller. That's good. Good.
Yeah. You guys, I have to go do a podcast for somebody.
Oh, yes, you do.
For somebody in New Jersey at 6:00, which is in 1 minute. So I got to run. It was so great doing these AMAs. We got to do these more often because they're so great.
Yeah, they're fun.
Maybe we'll schedule an AMA once a week just to catch up.
Yeah, we should. We should. It helps kind of get through the week too. Like,
yeah,
Wednesdays are rough, you know. But guys, thank you so much for being here with Julie and myself. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. Please, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. It helps us immensely. And you'll be the first to know when we are going to schedule these things, which we're trying to get better at. We're going to do two things. And Julie, I know you got to go, but two things. One will be rapid response stuff where we're responding rapidly to breaking news stuff, but then we'll try to also just talk about stuff that's in the news that we'll be able to schedule a couple hours in advance. So you'll have a little bit more notice. And then of course the podcast, Pax Americana, our show with Jeff Jarvis on Fridays. And in another week or so, we'll start the Illegals, which is the American Rewatch podcast. So.
Yep. All right, folks, I got a jet.
Great to see
everybody. See ya. Bye.
Bye.